Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Education Society managed R.N.G. Patel Institute of Technology, previously known as FETR, is one of Gujarat's leading institute based in Bardoli. The institute is recognized by AICTE and affiliated to Gujarat Technological University. The institute was established in the year 2010. The institute has 5 engineering streams: chemical engineering, civil engineering, computer science and engineering, electrical engineering, and mechanical engineering. The institute has 7 departments, including science and humanities and workshop. The institute has dynamic curriculum, robust and talented pool of faculty members, and state-of-the-art infrastructure in all the departments. It is well known for imparting quality education, active research, and also nurturing students for holistic development achieved through student engagement tools like continuous evaluation, practical-oriented learning, departmental electives, soft skills development, and many more. Recently, RNGPIT has started AICTE approved and Gujarat Technological University affiliated 3 years industry-oriented graduation program, Bachelor of Vocation on Skill Development Based Higher Education. The institute has 3 BVoc courses: BVoc in Software Development, BVoc in Production Technology, and BVoc in Refrigeration and Air Conditioning. The institute has organized 144 expert talks, 165 industrial visits, 90 workshops, 76 seminars, 32 STTPs, and 20 faculty development programs till today. The institute is proud of its academic results. RNGPIT is continuously securing top rank at state level and zone level in Gujarat Technological University. India's first Common Engineering Facility Center, governed by Setu Foundation, is being developed at our college campus. The institute has signed MOU with UGEC PowerMax Private Limited Vadodara for skill development, industrial training in wind energy, with Aspiring Minds Gurgaon for the job placement, for Trivedi Global Education Mumbai for the guidance of higher education in abroad, with E-Yantra IIT Mumbai for the development of robotic laboratory, and with Reliance Jio for the development of recruitment and training center in the field of ICT. Training and placement cell of the institute is active and alive. RNGPIT has organized 2 job fairs in the association with Directorate of Employment and Training, Government of Gujarat, and N.G. Patel Polytechnic. The institute has organized 2 IT job fair in the association with Surat IT Company Owners Association, SICO Surat. The institute has started SSIP cell for development of innovative projects and patent generation. Various projects done by our students have been presented at National International Expo and Enclaves. RNGPIT has established NPTEL local chapter for various online courses provided by IITs. Institute has run various skill development courses free of cost under Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana approved by National Skill Development Corporation. RNGPIT has developed Hansaben B. Poonawalla Vocational Training and Research Center with 14 advanced well-equipped laboratories. The institute has developed Tinkering Lab with the Association of Student Startup and Innovation Policy Cell, Gujarat State, in which students can enhance their knowledge in the field of IoT, robotics, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, calligraphy, and many more. The Chemical Engineering Department of RNGPIT is recognized as Schedule 1 Environmental Auditor by Gujarat Pollution Control Board Gandhinagar since 2012. The institute has around 40 industries allotted by GPCB for their audit work. NABL accredited Environmental Audit Consultancy Laboratory and Civil Material Testing Laboratory of the institute have acquired ISO 9001-2015 certification. There are many achievements done by faculties and awarded by gold medals. Every year, students have been facilitated with gold medals.
Hi, I'm Zenia Manchiani and I'm a software engineer in Silicon Valley. I did my master's in computer science from California State University, Sacramento, and I did my bachelor's of engineering in computer science from FETR, which now known as RNGPIT. I have been asked to share my thoughts on a few key areas. So the first one was the campus life. So I can definitely say it was both fun and studies. Studies in the sense that we had to prepare for Viva, GQ exams, and for writing assignment. And another thing is the fun part was that we used to have two kind of activities. Like one is the Vishwa Smriti, which I personally liked the most because it was of both, combination of both gaming activities and coding. And another one is the Kashish. So in that dancing, singing, so and other cultural activities too. So it was very much enjoyable.
The institute has been awarded with the Appreciation Award for Green Campus at Energy Expo by South Gujarat Productivity Council. In our campus, more than 3,000 trees plantation and 194 number of solar panels with 65 kilowatt capacity for utilization of energy. Students are given full facilities of library with the collection of around 15,000 volumes, 4,000 titles, 30 national and international journals, and 30 magazines. The institute provides facility of book bank and digital library to the students. The canteen facility is situated within the college campus. All type of hygienic meals and snacks are available at subsidized rate. Our institute provides hostel facilities for our college students. Vishwasmruti, Cultural Festival Kashish, Sports Week, outbound training, and festival celebrations are carried out for students' welfare and growth. R.N.G. Patel Institute of Technology strongly believes in all-round development of the students who can shape the better future.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Narendra Jagtap, Assistant Professor from Computer Science and Engineering, RNGPIT Bardoli. I welcome you all for the webinar on innovative project development. And for that, today we have the eminent speaker, Mr. Jay Desai sir, is a co-founder of BosLeo Technologies Private Limited, Valsad. Sir has more than 15 years of experience as a senior professional in developing technology-based business solution to create value in software industry. Sir has spearheaded software development project in financial, healthcare, and energy and insurance industry. A founding principal of BosLeo Technology Private Limited is currently leading a team of highly skilled developer in the area of mobile softwares, application softwares, UI and UX development, and fully cognizant of software development lifecycle from concept to complete delivery. So here's our today's speaker. Another member from BosLeo Technology, Mr. Maulin Desai sir, is the Director Technology in BosLeo. He is also with us today for the panel discussion. Panel member Dr. Madhavi B. Desai, Head of CAC Department, RNGPIT, will also join in the panel discussion. So I hope this session will definitely helpful for all the students for selecting their final year project. So without delaying, let us start with the session. Over to you, Jay sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all are safe and sound. And so let's quickly start the presentation. I'll share my screen. I hope it's visible to everyone. Okay, so the topic is innovative project development. This topic was suggested specifically by me to the institute. The reason being because I've been to multiple colleges as a third party, or you can call it industrial expert for examination, practical examination, and that's where when I always see that a similar kind of projects are presented to us. These are all application development kind of thing. I mean, normal application developments. So I suggested, but instead of developing similar applications, why can't we have something which is innovative? Because I always see the management application development. I mean, mainly it is like student management, or it is something like attendance management or account management. This MIS kind of project we used to do 20 years ago in our time. So I said, why these things are still continuing? So let's do something which is more innovative. So we start with what is innovation first. So innovation is the action of or process of inventing. When you invent something, it's called innovation. But yeah, it should create a significant or a positive change to the society. Invention of and it should solve an important problem. Coronavirus is not an invention. Invention is something which will create a positive impact on the society. So we can say shortly, a process of translating ideas or invention into a product or service which will create value. This creating value is the most important term here. We have to create value. If we see the mankind, I mean, we started in Stone Age. The first invention was fire. Then I mean, slowly we developed the wheel, which was in Neolithic age. So that's how the innovation started. And we have done a lot of innovative things like the light bulb, which was done by Thomas Alva Edison. We have the development of computer, then innovation of internet, mobile, tablet, wearable devices like smartwatches, glasses, VR, and devices. So we have came to this era. So we are expecting more from the students. So how do we innovate? I mean, that's the question, yeah, right? How do we innovate? So you have to be creative and you have to be imaginative. You have to think out of the box. Out of the box is generally conventional जो thinking होता है वही नहीं चलेगा. आपको थोड़ा अलग सोचना होगा. We have to think out of the box. Something which is unconventional. जो भेड़ चाल चल रहे हैं लोग वो नहीं. अपने को कुछ नया सोचना है, नया करना है. How do we do that? So you have to look around the problems which you have around you. There are so many problems. During lockdown, we face so many small issues. So what you guys need to do is you look at the problems which you have surround you and come up with a solution for it. A small problem, you can solve it, right? So for doing that, there are multiple techniques. There's one called brainstorming. Brainstorming is something like where you all sit together and brainstorm on a particular thing, or you can write down your points. I mean, we do this in our office. In brainstorming, you can have the sticky notes. You put your ideas into it, and you stick it on a wall, and then out of that, you choose the best idea. You shortlist the best idea. So there are multiple techniques. There's one more where you can share your ideas. I mean, we call it market analysis, basically, in our language. So what you do is you share your ideas with the people. You ask them that how they find it. I mean, it's kind of market feedback, or you do the analysis and you find that, okay, there is something which is going to work out, and you choose that idea. There's one more thing: fail fast and learn fast. If you think about, if you look into the history, Wright brothers, when they invented the flying, right? They failed so many times, but they kept on learning from their mistakes, and finally there was a day they could fly successfully. So we have to keep improving, keep iterating, and failing fast and learning from the mistakes. So there are certain parameters which I have defined, which can help you to choose a project. One is you have to choose the industry. Industry project. The project ideally should be an IDP or UDP, whatever is available. I mean, whatever your college permits you. You have to see what is your interest. Interest in two things. One is which domain you want to go with. Second is technology. You have to look at the project size. How many people are going to work in that project? How do you choose the team? What are the availability of the resources? And what is going to be the future of the project? So these are certain areas which you have to think when you're doing an innovative project. So I always insist on an industrial project. Why industrial project? Because it will help you to learn the industry standard. For example, the coding standards, the SDLC, life cycle of the software development. So one very important thing which you learn is the client communication. Generally what happens is, these are the skills which we don't learn during the college time. They're like usage of repositories, there is release process. I mean, you cannot push everything to the production. There are certain different environments, like you have a development environment, you have a user testing environment, and you have a production environment. So these are different processes which will be learned only when you work for industry. There's something called change management. When you make any change, you have to take approval. Incident management. If there is an issue, you have to justify why the issue was. You have to find out the root cause analysis, and you have to explain it to the management that why we got this issue and how we can fix it. What is the short-term fix and what is going to be the long-term fix. And of course, the QA. So these are multiple things which you learn when you go to the industry. The second advantage is you get the help from professional. I mean, you will be sitting around people who are professional people, and they are there to help you. You know, they're just sitting on your next text, and you can ask them if there is any issue or there is any challenge. There are behavioral changes. Behavioral changes because, I mean, as a student, probably you don't have ideas of the industry. When you enter for a project into a company, you will definitely see a complete change. I mean, the corporate environment provides you a very different environment. So that environment, picking up to that environment, adopting that is also one more benefit which you learn when you do an industry project. And there are chances, that you may get a job in that same company. Of course, I mean, when the evaluators come, they prefer people who have done industrial project. They always get better marks. And yeah, there's one thing I would say: please say no to any paid projects. We are here to get the degree, but yeah, with the degree, I mean, you need to learn. You have to be compatible with the industry. You have to go into the industry someday, and you will be definitely interviewed. So people will ask you what you have done apart from your degree, and this is a golden opportunity where you can learn something when you go to industry, or even if you do UDP. But please don't use any project which is a ready-made project. Say no to paid projects, completely no, because that is not learning. So let's go to the domain. I mean, we talk about different domains. So we talked about the projects. How do we choose it? Now you will have different. I mean, different people have different areas of interest. I mean, this is like technology as well as domain. So you can choose a company, or if it is a UDP, you can choose the domain accordingly. So I'll tell you what. There are enormous domain, but I have listed few here for your reference. So there's an automotive domain where you can use something which is, there are technologies like GPS, LCD, 3D modeling, rescue services, or embedded program. So I'll give you, I'll play a short video about the automotive sector and where it has gone. I mean, Google has come up with an auto-driven car. I'm sure you all know this, but you will see how it works. And I'm giving you a short video on that. So just have a look at it.
For a vehicle to drive itself, it needs to know where it is in the world, and it also needs to know what's around it. Based on these factors, it needs to be able to make smart and safe driving decisions in the real world. And once you get in the car, you start to get a real feel for the way the technology works and what it's like in real driving situations. So there are a few things that have to happen before the car can safely drive itself. First, it has to figure out its location in the world. So we use GPS, but GPS isn't always that accurate, which is why we rely on our other sensors like the laser, which picks up on details in the environment that help us identify a more precise location. So think of the sensors as the car's eyes and ears, but with eyes that can see far off into the distance and 360 degrees around the car. And the great thing about having all these sensors is that they can talk to each other and get cross-checked information about the environment. So while we take in a ton of information using our sensors, it's our software that really processes all of this and differentiates between objects. All these objects are visible on the laptop that the safety drivers use while testing the vehicles. Based on what the vehicle senses and processes, these objects will be represented by different colored boxes. Cyclists will be red, pedestrians yellow, and the vehicles will appear as either green or pink. These boxes demonstrate the processing that takes place within the software. And think about the complexity here. People look different, cars have different shapes and sizes, yet despite these nuances, the software needs to classify these objects appropriately based on factors like their shape, movement pattern, or location. For example, if there's a cyclist in the bike lane, the vehicle understands that this is a cyclist, not another object like a car or a pedestrian. So the cyclist appears as a red box on the safety driver's laptop. And the software can also detect the cyclist's hand signal and yield to them appropriately. When our engineers think about where the car should drive and how, safety is always the top priority. So the vehicle takes into account many things like how close it is to other objects or matching speed with traffic or anticipating other cars cutting in. For example, as a passenger, it can feel a little uncomfortable passing by a large vehicle on the road. Our engineers have taught the software to detect the large vehicles, and the laptop shows them as larger boxes on the screen. As our vehicle passes by a large truck, it will actually keep to the farther side of the lane and give ourselves a little bit more space. We've also taught the vehicle to recognize and navigate through construction zones. The vehicle sensors can spot the orange signs and cones early to alert the car of any lane blockage ahead, and then we can change lanes safely. Another thing that's really important is for the vehicle to drive in a naturalistic way, because when it's natural and the car abides by social norms on the road, it's also safer. For example, at four-way stops, people typically rely on eye contact to communicate whose turn it is. And in our case, the vehicle inches forward into the intersection to indicate its intent. So my role as a safety driver is first and foremost to keep the car, myself, and everyone around me safe. And in addition to keeping the car safe, I also provide detailed feedback to developers and let them know the car does anything that maybe I wouldn't have done personally. Maybe the car wasn't assertive enough in a lane change or wasn't fast enough at a green light. We provide the detailed feedback so they can fine-tune the whole driving experience. By getting out there and driving in the real world, we're getting a better understanding of what exactly it's going to take to improve the safety and comfort and ease of transportation. And that's really what our project's all about.
So you saw how the automotive industry is changing. There is another area which is called BFSI, Banking, Financial Services and Insurance. If you talk about India, there are more than 50% companies which are working in BFSI domain. And yeah, there are, I mean, when I say innovation, I mean, BFSI sector, there are definitely innovations possible there. I have been working with a company called Financial Engineering, which was helping ICICI. ICICI has its own complete building and a company called 3i Infotech, but still they were depending on certain other people who were engineers and they were knowing the financial engineering. So of course there is quite a lot possibility in BFSI domain also. There's another domain called charity, which is called fundraising sites. I mean, there are a lot of fundraising sites. There's one which is very popular, GoFundMe, where you can go with an idea and people can fund that idea. There's something called CrowdRise, and there's one which is called keto.org. This is our Indian company, and they help the needy. So there's another area. There's one area called digital media. I think during the lockdowns, this was the most popular, the digital media and education. So in digital media, the audio, video, ebooks, and other things will come. For example, you have YouTube, you have Netflix, Spotify, Audible. These are some of the examples of digital media. Yeah, you have the education area, as I said, very popular these days. E-learning, e-school, school management. There are some examples, very popular examples. Khan Academy, I'm putting Khan Academy because it was the first one in this area who became very popular. And the Byju's, our own Indian Byju's are there. Byju's there. The healthcare, there are like a lot of areas like healthcare equipments, there are pharmaceutical services, the biotechnology, hospital activities, patient research, and others. So we are working in healthcare area, and I have an excellent example for you in healthcare. I mean, I'll show you how Google is changing the world with using their smart devices.
Talk to me, honey.
Oh, okay.
How are you feeling? Tell me how you're feeling.
We're going dancing later, huh?
Folks, I just have a couple of questions for you, okay? My name is Brian. I just need a little bit more information, okay?
Okay.
Any other medical problems I need to be aware of other than high blood pressure and high cholesterol?
No, not that I know of.
No.
Are there any medications aside from lisinopril, simvastatin, and aspirin 81 that you're taking right now?
No. He just started slurring his words. I don't know what happened.
It's going to be fine, folks. We're going to take care of you, okay?
I'll be all right.
Doctor, I'm sending over the patient's info right now. Our ETA is 2 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing his vitals now.
I'm coming to meet you.
Yeah.
Mr. Green, Dr. Isaac. So, Mr. Green, I'm going to record a short video for our records, okay?
Yeah.
Record.
All right.
Mr. Green, would you raise your arms for me, please? That's it. Very good. Okay, send. Now, Mr. Green, we believe you may be experiencing a stroke.
Oh,
We're going to get an emergency CT scan right away, okay? Let's get him out of
I'm
there.
sorry.
Patient is a 70-year-old male with a past medical history of hypertension and hyperlipidemia, presenting with 2 hours right side weakness and expressive aphasia. Patient denies neurological deficits and additional symptoms. Send a message to on-call neurologist. 70-year-old male on aspirin, presenting with signs of left MCA occlusion for 2 hours, stroke scale of 7, hemodynamically stable. Requesting remote teleconsult ASAP. Do we administer TPA?
Call Dr. Isaac.
Hi, Julia. The CT scan just came in. Have you taken a look?
Taking a look now. I see no evidence of hemorrhage. Can we get the patient on video, please?
On my way. I'm sharing with you now. Mr. and Mrs. Green, I've brought in the neurologist for a teleconsult. Could you, Mr. Green, please show me your teeth?
Yeah.
Okay, now can you please close your eyes and raise your arms? Okay, now can you say, early bird gets the worm from it?
Any contraindications to TPA?
None.
Okay, I'm going to send you my recommendations right now. Let me know if you need anything else, okay?
Thank you, Julia. Mrs. Green, it could have been far worse.
Oh.
We caught it just in time, and we're going to continue to give him just the very best care that we can. You're welcome.
So you saw how the healthcare is changing. I mean, I have got one more example, probably a project which we worked on.
Baby's temperature is important. Even when they are not sick, it affects their comfort, their well-being, and how well they sleep. Wouldn't it be good to know your baby's temperature without disturbing them at the push of a button? Well, now you can with Pacify, the world's first Bluetooth smart pacifier. Pacify allows you to monitor your baby's temperature easily and conveniently with your smartphone. You can also record medication and share the data with others. No more scraps of paper or relying on memory. With a range of 30 feet, you can monitor them when they are in another room, even while they are asleep. You don't have to worry about another piece of kit when leaving the house. Just grab Pacify and go. And when you are in a hurry, locate Pacify with your smartphone. A great time-saving feature for today's busy parents. Pacify can even alert your smartphone if you leave it behind. No more forgetting your pacifier or losing it when you are out and about. Pacify, the world's smartest pacifier.
So you saw, I mean, how the med devices and are changing the pharmaceutical and healthcare area. So we go to the utilities area, which is like energy sector, natural gas, and home automation. Yeah, home automation is also another booming area where things are changing. I'll show you a small video on home automation too. So I think it is like, it's with the utilities I have.
What if you could buy time? An extra 10 minutes to snuggle in. A long hot shower. Having breakfast together for 20 whole minutes. Meet air. It connects the things around you and teaches them to learn from you.
Hello, I think some technical problem is there. Okay, sir will be back in 2 minutes. Yes, it is a video is paused because some technical problem is there on the expert side. Okay, some internet connection problem is there. He will be back in 2 minutes. We have contacted.
Yeah, so I think there was an issue. I'll share my screen again. I think last we were looking at the video. So I'll go back and I'll start again from there. So we were talking about the domains. Actually, we talked about different domains. Last we were talking about utilities. And now we go with the space domain, space exploration and extraction, satellite and robotics. In retail, you have like goods sell directly to the end users. For that, there are examples like Walmart, Big Bazaar, Shoppers Stop, etc. There are e-commerce sites which sell online retail things. You have telecom domain where you have exchange of transmission and message which are done electronically. There's a domain which is travel and hospitality, which provides you central reservation, airline booking, hotel booking. These are some of the examples, and there are like very popular innovation in these areas like Airbnb, Grab, Uber, Zomato, Swiggy. In transportation and logistic, you can go with some freight management or container management kind of systems. This we talked about the domain. There are, as I said, there are going to be multiple domains, but I've listed some and I've given you some example of those domains. We go to the technology now. The second choice you have to make is of the technology, which technology you want to go with. So you can choose something like OS development. So you can develop a new OS or modify open source OS. Like for example, GNU is there. You have Linux. You have Android open source project. So these are mainly C or C++ languages which are used for developing OS. You can choose web application development. So in web application, there are different areas. We have front-end development, where you can use languages like if you're good in designing part, or you can use something like HTML5, CSS, JavaScript. There are certain design techniques like which provides responsive design, modern design, which is material design. You can use certain frameworks like Bootstrap, Foundation, Gumby, and Semantic. There are JavaScript frameworks which are very popular these days. I think Node.js, Angular, these are very popular. React, Vue.js. You can choose some of this latest technologies. You can use handlebars or mustaches as well. For backend development, there are server-side languages like Java, Golang. You have PHP, you have Ruby, you have Python, you have .NET. There are a lot of options available. For the RDBMS, I've listed some like Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL, DB2. Again, no SQL, which are very popular these days. You can have MongoDB, Cassandra, Redis, or DynamoDB. And there are some popular frameworks around these languages. For Java, you have Spring Boot, which can be used. For PHP, you have some popular frameworks like Laravel, Symfony, Coordinator, CakePHP, Zen. For Ruby, we have Ruby on Rails, which is very popular. Cuba, Cramp, Lotus, Vault, etc. For Python, we can use Django, we can use Flask, Pyramid, or Tornado. You can also go with some mobile application development. There are like native and hybrid applications. In native, if you're developing something for iOS, you can go with Objective-C or you can choose Swift. If you're going with Android, you can choose Java or Kotlin. There are like hybrid development is also popular these days. So you can use React Native, one of the most popular platforms. Flutter is also picking up. You can go with Xamarin or Ionic, and you can go with game development also. If you're going with 2D, there are like you can use technology like Cocos 2D, Unity 2D, or libgdx. For 3D development, Unity 3D is the most popular technology these days. You can go with Unreal Engine or CryEngine or Talk to 3D also. So these are some of the technologies which can be picked up. If you want to go with embedded software development, so embedded software development is like which is written to control machines or devices that are not thought as a computer. Right? Okay, this is for this programming is not for computer, but this is for the chips basically. Programming on a chip or a or the firmware is called the embedded software development. And mainly the languages which I use are C, C++, Java, and Python for this. Data science is another area which is picking up these days. I mean, if you see 90%, I mean, if you see Facebook, I mean, or you have WhatsApp, these are like these things are providing a lot of data, and this data has to be stored somewhere into some right. And this, like, if you see 90% of data of the world is created in last 3 years. So when you have this data, around this data, there can be a lot of things can be done, like business intelligence, BI. which what it does is it generates the report and visualize the data. It helps you to visualize the large amount of data. You have analytics, which analyzes the data, for example, how the new sales model worked against the old one, or how a salesperson performed to the others. You have big data, which helps you like you can get the data from diverse sources, which is unstructured, and it helps you to get the answer from this data. So these are some of the technologies which you can pick up. Now, I was talking about the parameters to choose a project. So you have to look at the project size. I mean, some of the projects which I showed you, I mean, it took probably years and years to develop those projects. So you have to look at size of the project, something which is not so small and not so large also. When I'm saying small, so it should at least give you enough mark. You cannot say something which is very small, you cannot choose, but it should be sufficient enough to get you marks. You should be able to finish it in time. That is also important. You cannot have something which is huge and you are not able to finish on time. How do you choose team? So you have to look at two things. One is the skill set, and second is a past experience or the interest. So when you choose a team, you have to look at the different skill set of the person. I mean, if I am working on a team where I need something which is using a semiconductor, and I have something which is on the mobile devices, so probably I look at people who are coming from that kind of background, and I look at their experience and their interest also in these areas. Of course, I mean, I will look at the availability of the resources. Resources could be any hardware, I mean, or any other resources which are needed. Software licenses or anything which is needed. So you have to look at those also when you're choosing a project. And of course, you have to look at the future. I mean, how it will help you. I mean, how it will add that to your profile. How it will help you to get a job. I think so. These are the parameters which you should use when you're choosing a project. So I think we are open for Q&A. So thanks for your time. So yeah, please let me know if there are any questions.
Sir, the first question which I have received, the first question is how the students can avail the project, IDP project, means industry defined project, and what is the procedure for that?
Okay, so I think this one area, I think the colleges should definitely help because they have a lot of connection with the industry. So
Yes,
I'm throwing
yes,
it back. I'm throwing it back to you, but yeah, of course, I think you should use all your connections, and probably there are websites where you can go and apply. There's a very popular website called Internshala, where you can go and apply, and probably you should get internship from those kind of sites. So does that answer the questions?
Yes, sir. Actually, sometimes it happens. Most of the students are ready to work with the industry project, but they are not getting such definitions from the industry. So, is there any proper definition? I mean, proper procedure to avail such kind of IDP project? That was the question asked by the students.
Okay.
Yeah. Sir, as we know that it is very important that final year project. So, as a recruiter, how much important is given by you while recruiting the person about this his final year project?
Yeah, we do. I think if you're asking me, it is the industry looks at the hands-on experience, what you have done in the past. So not only final year project, of course, it matters a lot. But apart from that, also, if a student is in the first year, we look from that only that what you have done during the first year. I mean, if you have developed something on your own, I mean, so my suggestion is from the beginning only, you should be developing some small things. You should look at the problems which are around you, and you have all the tools available. You're learning different languages in your syllabus every year, so use those languages and develop something every year. And of course, I mean, it matters a lot. I think we don't look at the scores. It is what you have grasped during this period that is important.
Right. Sir, the next question, which is from like whatever we have seen in the videos, all these innovative technologies we have seen in the video. So to implement such innovative things, we need more time, and to develop such prototypes and all. So what you suggest for such a project? If suppose it will take more time and we have very limited time in the semester's duration, so how students can handle this situation?
Yeah. So basically, every project is done in phases. It's not that you come up with the end product immediately. So what you can do is you can create a prototype of it, a smaller version of the project. A very smaller version of the project can be done initially, and which can be presented. And if you see, as I said, that you can do a market analysis, and if you see that this is a feasible idea, I mean, you do this for the project, for the college, and later on also you can continue on it.
Another question, sir, is coming from one of the viewer. How can you make the innovation a little bit easier?
Innovation easier. I think there's no substitute to hard work. You will have to work hard, and yeah, you have to be innovative. I think you have to. I mean, as I said, there are multiple techniques which you have to use, which I mentioned in the slides. But nothing is easy. I would say.
Right. Okay. And another one, how do you succeed in innovation? Means what to do for succeed in innovation?
The definition of success is very different for everyone. I mean, I would say even, I was talking about Wright brothers, right? So they got success from the failures. So if you fail, I would consider it as a success only, because you have tried anything. Even if you try, and if you fail, it is fine. You know, it will take iterations. It will take multiple. I mean, you have to be behind something. Like the Wright brothers were behind, the airplanes. Similarly, you have to keep on trying, and then only you can invent or innovate something.
Right. We have Dr. Madhavi Desai with us, who is the academician. So there is one question for you, ma'am. What is the importance of final year project and how students should choose their project?
Importance of project, students learn so many subjects throughout the engineering, as sir told also, but this is the one time they can show the talent they have learned throughout all the subjects. Okay, that is the one key thing. Second thing, when they are developing the project, technical skills are available, but with technical skills they can show there are soft skill is also available, how they are able to represent their work. Okay, that is the key thing, because when you are outside of your company or outside of your institute, or means after the graduation, this is the one thing that you are going with this, what you have developed. So this is time they can show up their talent with their skills, with their marketing skills also available. When you are in this era, okay, you have to come up with the technical skill, market skill, professional skills, communication skill, all are combining one product. That is the one student that they required. I think Desai sir is always coming. Okay, he also want that type of student only. And the second thing I want to say that, as sir told, every year students should develop something. Okay, so in our department, we are trying that in second year also, they are doing the project in the form of design engineering. In the third year also, they are doing the project in the form of design engineering. And in the final year also, they are doing the project. Okay, now when these projects they are selecting, okay, we have the SSIP also active. In that, they are able to take the grant. So we are giving the platform to all the students to develop their or to show their idea that what they want to implement. Then scrutiny is available from the academic side also and from the industry side also. They will ask the question. They will we tell them that to make the budget and to represent your project, how it is important, what is the impact of that into the society. So we are giving these all skills from the second year only. So obviously project is very much important in their career. Okay. And the second thing is that how to choose a project. So I think sir has already given the answer. But if I will say that, you need to first they need to find out the problems. Okay, once we are able to find out the problems in the real life, okay, that I found these problems, then they need to go for the survey. Okay, students are coming that, okay, I found this type of problem, so we are giving them open market that now you should go to the industry. Okay, that what is the impact of this problem. Okay, even if it is a medical problem, sir, as sir told, they can go into the medical, they can visit the hospital, they can visit the particular place, whatever the project is there, then they can find out that from the survey that what is still now developed, okay, and what can be done. It may be possible something is already done, we can modify it, that is also one project can be done, or we can invent something new, that can be also a project. Okay, so once they found the problem, then into that domain they can go the survey, and after that they can find out, or they can think about the platforms. And obviously faculty is also available with the students, and experts are also available with our department, like Mr. Jai Desai.
Yeah. There is one question for the Maulin sir, because it is related to technology. So, sir, what should be kept in mind while project selection in computer science, and how to choose the platforms or the languages or the domain while we are selecting the project?
Basically, you can choose whatever language you are comfortable. Say, for example, if you like Java, if you then go for it. If you like Go, go for it. If you like PHP, go for it. But main, what I learned up till now is so fundamental should be clear. Fundamental of object-oriented programming language, procedural programming language, whatever. If your fundamental is clear, you can learn any language. Just syntax are different, so you can learn any language. You can easily learn and adopt any language. So my major, as I sir told, technology is a you can say that you can choose whatever you want, but your idea is much more important.
Right. Okay. So I think all the questions I have covered here, and I just want to ask about the project, sir. If suppose some of the projects need some financial requirements, right? So is any industry is giving such kind of supports to the students?
Yeah, if they're, I mean, of course, I mean, if they're doing the project for the industry, they will definitely support. And I think there are like now there are many schemes for the government also. I think where,
Yes.
yeah, which are helping the students to come up with innovation actually. You know? So that is of course there. And if you're joining the industry, definitely I mean, if you have done excellent, if you are technically strong, you are welcome to any industries. And nobody, I mean, there's one more suggestion: never work for free. I mean, if you are talented enough, I would suggest don't work for free. I mean,
Right. And also, sir, we have the SSIP cell. Ma'am can elaborate about that if.
Yes, in SSIP, we have at every year we are telling to the students that we have the scrutiny available. Okay, so students, we make the students ready for their idea. They can select one mentor, one faculty is available with them. That is the open platform is given to the students. They can take this faculty from the computer domain also. They can take the mentor from the other department also. Okay, then we are once at the department level also we are scrutinize the all the students that with whom we can forward the students. I mean, this is for actually, as you told, that this is for the grant. Okay, so we can provide the students that what is the finally output will be available, what is the impact of that on the society, and is there any much fund is needed to the student or not, and their idea is innovative or not. So once we are scrutinizing at the department level, and then expert and the education level, we are inviting the some of the panel is available, and they are coming and they are selecting the students. Once they are selecting some of the five groups, 6 groups, 7 groups, as much as required, okay, then we are providing the fund also. And as sir told, even government is also giving so many fund to the students. Okay, so we can apply into that also. Once we found that this is the innovative, or this is one we can do, even in Gujkos also we can apply it. Okay, in the DST also, Department of Science and Technology, that is also one platform where also we can apply for the grant.
Sir, there is one question from the students again. how to do the innovation in agriculture field, because right now that field is very booming for the innovation.
Yeah. I think, see, I mean, I have seen in US everything is humanless, I think, the agriculture. But it can be afforded in US. I mean, they have the chips in the soil which find out the fertility or if the soil needs water or, I mean, so everything is done, using technology. India, the problem is because the farmers have smaller compared to US. I mean, they have acres and acres of land. India, the farmers don't have that much of land, so probably we have to come up with certain similar solutions, but those solutions have to be cheaper. And I have seen that when something is developed in India, I mean, we do look at, I mean, similar solutions, but they can be reduced in the cost. So we can develop something which a simple farmer can be using. I mean, I have seen certain solutions or certain projects which are developed. There's one very good example of irrigation, I think. They have a solar panel which is used with the boring. Using that solar panel, they get the energy, and the borewell runs based on that solar panel. There's something where they have they use SMS to switch on the motor. So these are the kind of projects which I've seen in some of the students have developed these kind of projects. So you can choose something like this.
And yep, I think everything is covered here. So let us wind up this session with the vote of thanks. So on behalf of our institute, R.N.G. Patel Institute of Technology and Computer Science and Engineering Department, I would like to extend our heartfelt appreciation to Mr. Jai Desai sir for sharing his knowledge and experiences with us during this webinar. I also want to thank Mr. Maulin Desai sir for joining with us and sharing his knowledge with us. I also want to thank the whole management committee of our institute, RNGPIT. I also want to thank Dr. Latesh Chaudhary sir, principal of RNGPIT. Also want to thank Dr. Madhavi Desai, head of Computer Science and Engineering Department, RNGPIT, for guiding us and motivating us to arrange such webinars. I also thanks to coordinator of this live session, Ms. Bhagyashree Patel ma'am, assistant professor of computer department, RNGPIT, for allowing us to go live on this particular platform. And lastly, thanks to all the participants, our student faculties, and also thank you to our alumni students who have actively participated and had spread their valuable time for attending this webinar and making it more interactive. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.